For this demonstration, we're going to be soldering a rope chain back together. You can see the very characteristic style, the woven links all interlocking for the rope chain. When a rope chain breaks, it usually leaves these frayed half links sticking out of the broken end. No matter what size or style of chain, you always want to remove those frays and get to a fresh link. It's best to use some side cutters and pinch the links gently and wiggle them free from the remaining solid links. When the rope chain is really small, it's going to be difficult to weave the links back together. The links of a rope chain are interlocked and woven and twisted. So this method is called a stack solder. The idea is to stack the two end links in a way that mimics the twist of the braid when the links are woven together. So you want to position them by almost rolling them together until they look like the same pattern as the rest of the links, although these are not actually interconnected. Now that we have our rope chain lined up appropriately, we again are going to use the back of our flame and a small piece of solder to find where the two links overlap, and that is where we're going to make our first connection. Now this chain is actually solid, so it will endure a little more heat than most. The hollow versions of this chain will not, so you must be very careful with your flame when applying the solder. The first connection is very important, to not move the chain too much, but once you get those first two links connected, you can move the chain freely to the other side without worrying about your connection falling apart. It does take a little more solder than most chains, but we still follow the same process of a little bit at a time, so you can always add more. But since the links are all interwoven, the solder tends to flow into the links, so it will accept more solder without looking like it has too much on it on the surface. We got our first connection, and then we roll the chain over, find the other side where they overlap, and add some more solder. You can see I'm using my soldering pick as a guide and a heat sink to help the solder flow in the direction that I want. Since I want it to flow down, I put the pick in front of it and help push the solder. When executed properly, this is what your stack solder should end up looking like before polish. The links are stacked in a pattern that resembles the rest of the chain, and once it is polished to a shine, will be barely visible to anyone looking at it.